So, are you an empath? Or is it something you wonder about and think, maybe I could do that, maybe not? What if I told you you can? What if I told you if you use science, you totally can? You can not only learn these skills, but you can perfect them and use them for your benefit and those you love. Hello, my loves. Wonderful rainy day here in New Orleans, and I wanted to talk to you about empathy and how you too can become more of an empath. You know, something that I have always had as a skill is being very in tune to other people's emotions. I was a very sensitive kid. I have a couple of those at home now, and I felt things deeply. Surprise, shocker. I've always been very dramatic. This was initially kind of probably laughed at by my family and made fun of, and, a lot of eye rolling by my brothers. But as I grew into a young woman and into a healer, or really embraced my healing side, I realized this is actually something that I can use and that I've been using to help people. So something that I notice and have noticed as I've grown in my own spiritual journey is that I am very in tune to what is happening with the folks I'm trying to help. And this actually still happens when I'm seeing them over Zoom. I notice I start feeling maybe a sense of anxiety or a sense of dread before the person that I'm meeting with tells me that that's how they're feeling. Or I might feel the sadness or feel the anger. And these are all things that as a healer, I use as tools to help me know what is going on with the person that I'm trying to help. Now, the flip side of this can also be true, which is what's so amazing and fabulous about this. Once I learned that this is a gift and not something to shy away from, because it is scary when you don't know what's going on or what you're doing, I started practicing meditation and engaging in behaviors and skills that help me better control my own emotions and my own emotional boundaries in whatever situation I'm in. And that, in its own effect, then helps the person that I'm interacting with, or people, my loves, who I may be interacting with now. So what the hell is that about? Like, am I just like full of the woo? Have I gone off the deep end? No. There's science behind this. I promise. This is super cool stuff. I love the science and I love the science base, but I also love my woo. So this is where they cross over into this amazing space that not a lot of people are familiar with, okay? So when you talk to folks who identify themselves as empaths or as healers who are in tune to the people they're healing, and you say, well, how do you do that? How do you develop that skill set? A lot of them say we all have that skill. It's already there, but you have to kind of open yourself up to it. A lot of kids already have these things, and then they grow out of them. They get less emotional or less sensitive. Well, the problem is that they turn off that sense of what's happening to the person near them and just kind of get into their own world. So the way we reverse this and get more in tune is by learning to be more present in the moment and really paying attention to what's coming at us, both internally and externally. And as I've said, that's through meditation. That's through being present in the moment. So meditation, right? Like, we've talked about that. What is that? Buddha on the mountaintop? Like, what does that mean? That means deciding to pay attention to what's in the moment with intention, as if your life depends on it, is what Jon Kabat-Zinn says. And really just being present, paying attention to what you're feeling, what you're thinking, and not judging those things, right? So, that is helpful for some of us. Some of us were like, cool, let me go do that. I'm going to go sit for 20 minutes. It's all good. Others of us are like, dude, like, what the hell? I don't even know what that means. So there's other ways of approaching this. And one way that I found particularly helpful for a lot of my athletes and folks who maybe like to be more active is HeartMath, which is a type of app you can get on your phone, or there's different devices you can use on the computer. It's really a type of biofeedback. And what it's looking at is what I think is a lot of the science behind why empaths like myself can feel other people's feelings, and then in reverse, help other people calm down with our own ability to be calm in the moment and to kind of bring everything down a notch with our own frequencies, as you may hear people talk about. So the premise of HeartMath is looking at your heart and looking at how your heart actually has its own electromagnetic field. You know, we measure this when maybe your dad goes and gets an EKG, electrocardiogram. It's looking at the magnetic field of your heart and how your heart beats and keeps a rhythm, right? So your heart beats so many times a minute. There's actually a variability between those beats, and we call that heart rate variability. Now, if there's not a lot of variability between beats, that actually isn't so great. That means that your heart is maybe going in excess because you're stressed out. It doesn't have time to have that variability. And that actually makes you more prone to things like heart attacks and diabetes and high blood pressure and all the things that we worry about, right? Which causes like that low heart rate variability because we're stressed. So higher heart rate variability means that the heart has more time, I'm simplifying it, has more time to kind of vary between beats. That usually means you're more in a parasympathetic, like relaxation space. So the HeartMath technique is to try to help you increase that heart rate variability, which allows you to be more in an attentive, relaxed state. So we use it a lot. Like I said, for athletes, we'll use it. Folks with attention deficit will use it. Folks with anxiety will use it. And then empaths like myself use these techniques to allow us to increase our heart rate variability and then affect the heart rate variability of those around us. What? Yes, I'm serious. This is something that you can do. So your heart has this electromagnetic field, right? Well, they've been doing studies on this, and the field can be felt like feet away from you. So this is where I think this empathy comes from, is the magnetic fields like talking to each other. So they've done studies on moms and babies, and the baby will be on the mom's lap, right? They're not even skin to skin. And they've looked at the baby's heart rate and they've looked at the mom's brain waves, and they sync up. Dudes, I'm serious. It's super cool. They see this happening between person and person. They've actually determined that your electronic cardiogram magnetic field measurement can be determined and felt by a person 3 feet away and measured within that person. In other words, your hearts are syncing up. I mean, this is what happens when you feel love between the person you adore, or you feel the sadness from the person who's across from you, or maybe even through Zoom. They're still studying it. We don't know how far this goes and transmits. I suspect it transmits quite a bit. I suspect this has something to do with why group prayer works and why I can still help people across Zoom and feel them and feel that energy when I'm in a ceremony through Zoom because we can't be in person. These are all what I'm suspecting based on the science, but the science is starting to support what those of us who've been feeling it for quite a while have been saying. So the reason I'm telling you all this is because if you learn how to control your own heart rate variability, your own ability to be calm, this transmits to the person that you love and care about and can actually affect their heart rate variability. And so when I'm treating someone and I'm feeling that anxiety within myself being triggered, not because I am worried about the leaky roof I'm dealing with or worried about my dog's health issues or what have you, but just anxiety I can't find a reason behind, and I see the person across from me, either virtually or in person, who's expressing what I am suddenly feeling, and I'm realizing it's their energy that's coming to me, I can focus on my own heart-centered breathing, which means breathing from your heart space and sending that positive love and energy to the person and people around you. And I can affect their heart rate variability. I can have the power, you can have the power to increase the person's heart rate variability, who you love and adore, who you are with, who you care about, who you want to feel better. And through this, we can help each other heal. I mean, hello, how amazing and cool is this? I love it. So, dudes, think about it. Engage in some meditation, engage in some heart-centered breathing, just breathing from your heart space. Give that power back to your heart. Think about how cool our hearts are. They really control so much more than we realize. I mean, the poets had something. They had something on all of us by using their own heart space to create the beauty that they talk about and the beauty of love in our hearts. The heart biologically itself has so much power. Amazing. So cool. I love it. So for more information about these things, please follow me on YouTube, press the little ding, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you're seeing me here. Share this video with folks who you think it might be helpful to. If you want to know more about HeartMath, you can see, if you actually Google HeartMath, you can find their website. I'm trained in HeartMath. There's a number of other providers who can help guide you through this if you decide you want to get that app and try that as biofeedback. There's other types of meditation if that's not what resonates with you. Prayer practice, also another way to do this. All of these things are ways to capture what we already can do as humans, as natural empaths. Help us be more attentive and in tune to what those of us around us are feeling, and then use our own heart space and love and positive emotions to affect those around us and help them maybe turn the corner towards healing. So with that, I'm sending you all my positive heart space, heart love, and adoration. Find me on darawellnessnola.com. I love you guys. Enjoy this rainy day that I think is breaking into sunshine and rainbows. So keep an eye out for them. Okay? Bye, guys.